Chapter 1, Mishnah 7. The previous Mishnah stated that the he-goat sent to Azazel atoned for all sins that do not involve Tumah of the temple and its holy things. Our Mishnah discusses whether there is a difference in this regard between Kohanim and non-Kohanim. The atonement brought about by the he-goat sent to Azazel is the same for Yisraelim, non-Kohanim, Kohanim, and the anointed Kohen, the Kohen Gadol. They all receive atonement through the Azazel goat for all sins other than the Tumah violations of the temple and its holy things. What then is the difference between the atonements of Yisraelim, Kohanim, and the Kohen Gadol? Only that the blood of the bull brought by the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur atones for the Kohanim for any unintentional Tumah violations of the temple and its holy things on their part, whereas non-Kohanim receive atonement for these sins through the inner and outer he-goats of Yom Kippur, as we learned in the previous Mishnahs. The next Tana disagrees with the statement that the he-goat sent to Azazel atones for non-Kohanim and Kohanim alike. He presents an argument to show why this is not so. His argument is based on the fact that the bull offering of the Kohen Gadol has two parts to it. The confession he says over the bull before he slaughters it, and the sprinkling of its blood inside the sanctuary after he slaughters it. This contrasts with what he does with the he-goats, where he sprinkles the blood of the inner he-goat inside the sanctuary after he slaughters it, but does not say any confession over it before slaughtering it. And the he-goat sent to Azazel, where the Kohen Gadol confesses the sins of the people over it before he sends it away, but never sprinkles any of its blood. Rabbi Shimon says, just as everyone agrees that sprinkling the blood of the he-goat whose service is performed inside the sanctuary is what atones for Israel, i.e. non-Kohanim, for their Tumah sins, so too, sprinkling the blood of the Kohen Gadol's bull is what atones for the Kohanim for their Tumah sins, and not the confession said over the bull before it is slaughtered. But the Kohen Gadol's confession over his bull must also atone for something. We can learn what it atones for from another comparison, just as everyone agrees that it is the confession said over the he-goat sent away to Azazel that atones for Israel for sins other than Tumah, since there is no blood sprinkling performed with this goat. So too, the confession said over the Kohen Gadol's bull atones for the Kohanim for the same things that the Azazel goat atones for non-Kohanim. Thus, according to Rabbi Shimon, Kohanim and non-Kohanim are not equal with regard to the atonement of the Azazel goat. Rather, what the Azazel goat accomplishes for the non-Kohanim, the confession over the Kohen Gadol's bull accomplishes for the Kohanim.